What's up, guys? This is Callisto's Digital Creations from Callisto Star Studios. I'm Cyrus, and this is my first ever YouTube video, so be gentle if it's not that great. I figured that the best way to start off this channel would be explain the origin of the studio's name, which is Callisto, the Greek goddess, and I will be telling that story and making a Photoshop edit while I do that. This is not the best edit that I've ever done, but it's a good way to start off. So let's get right into it. Callisto was said to be the daughter of King Lycaon. Callisto would be one of the female huntresses who accompanied the Greek goddess Artemis. The followers of Artemis were expected to take a vow of chastity and remain virgins, and this was something that Callisto agreed to. Callisto was also considered to be one of the most devoted of Artemis' attendants, and therefore one of the goddess's favorites. Callisto therefore was more often than not found with Artemis, and this brought her into close proximity with other gods, and eventually the roving eye of Zeus fixed upon her. Now, despite being married to Hera, Zeus was not above taking the virtue of a beautiful maiden. And so one day, Zeus descended on Earth from Mount Olympus. Zeus located Callisto while separated from Artemis, and the god approached her. Some say that Zeus approached in a male form, and some say that he disguised himself as Artemis so as not to alarm Callisto. In either case, Zeus was soon next to the beautiful maiden, and before she could protest, the god had taken her virginity and made her pregnant with his child. Callisto returned to the company of Artemis, but she did not tell Artemis of what had transpired, for she feared the anger of the goddess. As time went by, though, it became harder for Callisto to hide the fact that she was pregnant. And indeed, Artemis discovered that her follower was no longer a virgin when Artemis saw Callisto bathing in one of the rivers of the forest. Artemis was indeed angry with her follower for breaking her vow of chastity, no matter that it was Artemis's own father who had made her pregnant. As a result, Artemis expelled Callisto from her following. Callisto was alone in the forest, but she successfully gave birth to a baby boy, a boy who would be called Arcas. It was at this time that Callisto was transformed into a she-bear. This transformation might have been undertaken by Artemis as part of punishment of Callisto, or it might have been done by Zeus in an attempt to hide his infidelity, or Callisto may have been transformed by Hera as a form of punishment as part of a long-term plan. The mother and son could not remain together, and Zeus dispatched Hermes to take Arcas to Maia, who raised the son of Callisto. Eventually, though, Arcas returned to his homeland and succeeded his grandfather, Lycaon, to the throne, and the land he ruled became known as Arcadia in his honor. While Arcas grew up, Callisto roamed the forest where she was once hunted. It was a dangerous existence for a she-bear, though, and invading hunting parties took all of her skill. The wandering Callisto would eventually take the bear into the very woods and forests that Arcas himself hunted in, and one day the paths of Callisto and Arcas crossed. Arcas saw in front of him a magnificent trophy, whilst Callisto saw her son, so rather than running away from the hunter, Callisto walked towards Arcas, hoping to touch her son once again. Arcas now saw an easy kill, so the king raised his hunting spear and prepared to run the bear through. Zeus saw all of this from his throne on Mount Olympus, so the god stayed the hand of his son before the killing blow could be delivered. Zeus then transformed Callisto into the constellation known as the Great Bear, Ursa Major, And so that mother and son could be together, Arcus was also transformed into the stars as the constellation Ursa Minor, the little bear. Now Hera saw the transformation as a constant reminder of the infidelity of her husband. So as one last punishment, Hera decided to prevent either constellation from drinking water again. Hera therefore convinced Theseus to prevent the stars from ever dipping below the horizon into Earth's encircling river. This punishment of Hera would last throughout time until the relative position of the Earth and the constellations changed. So this is my final piece. It's not my favorite piece in the whole entire world, but I knew that I wanted to start my channel off with this story and didn't have that many ideas for an edit to go with them. So hopefully in the future I'll have videos up that are better. My only real issue with these are that there's kind of too much going on, too much color happening, so it gets kind of busy and hard to see. That being said, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm happy with the result for what it is. I'll drop links down in the description for where I got the story, as it's not mine, as well as the video editor I used to make the intro and all my socials if you want to check me out there. If you like this video at all, I would appreciate it if you hit a like, hit a subscribe, maybe. Just trying to get the channel off the ground. And if you have any suggestions for how I can make my videos better, I will always take constructive criticism down in the comments, but just be nice, like I said at the beginning. And hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye!